Howdy, hi. It is Dear Job Sports College Basketball Picks and Predictions for Saturday, December 6th, 2025. We're looking at the best bets of the day. Let's get into the video. All right, first things first, got to recap previous day's results. Really weird day in college basketball, but we go positive, 3-2 on the day, bringing our season record to 123 wins, 94 losses. We add $6 to the giveaway fund, bringing that total to $111. I will now discuss the obvious. The University of Kentucky has been upgraded from the ban list into their own jail cell. You can skip the county jail, skip the state. We're going straight to federal prison with the University of Kentucky. I am talking reestablish the island of Alcatraz. I need all of their basketball teams sent there. Coaches included. Mark Pope, straight to the island. I never want to see this basketball team again. The biggest joke of a blue blood in the history of ever. This team is absolute piss water. All right, now I'll recap the games. We'll get on to, there is a massive slate for tomorrow. You can bet games from, I think, 11 a.m. until 10:30 at night. It is the definition of perfection. All right, first game we had, it was the Manhattan Jaspers. We had them plus 1.5. They won this game 70-66 at home to Fairfield. Honestly, neither team played very well. Manhattan 43% from the field, 26% from deep. The teams combined to have 30 turnovers. They shot a whopping 24% from three-point land. Fairfield shot 36% from the field. Neither of these teams are very good, but when you have two bad teams and one of them is at home on a Friday night, you take the team at home. Next game, this looked about as dead as ever at halftime. VCU had a 1-point halftime lead over Samford. They win the second half 49-26. They win the game 83-57. I mean, they dominated basically every single stat. Rebounds, 52-34. They actually lost the turnover battle somehow. I don't know how you do that. VCU, 45% from the field, 43% from deep. Samford, 35% from the field, 10% from deep. They decided to pull a Kentucky and play the most egregious basketball I've ever witnessed in the second half. And finally, this video probably would have already been posted if the Notre Dame game had not gone into overtime. Notre Dame, plus 7.5. You can throw the points out the door. They went on the money line, 87-85, and they played majority of this game without their star point guard in Marcus Burton. They had some guys come off the bench, none more important than their freshman who actually starts, so the whole off-the-bench thing was not important. But Jalen Harrelson, he hits a bucket from about 12 feet, send it into OT. Then Notre Dame really tried to give this game away as they went 9 of 20 from the free throw line, missing 3 out of their last 4. So TCU almost sent this into double OT, but thankfully they didn't because they knew I had to make this video. And I was not trying to wait another 20 goddamn minutes to post this. All right, now we get to the losers. We will talk about the obvious. My favorite bet of the night was the over 159.5 in Gonzaga and Kentucky. Prior to, if you would have told me Gonzaga scored 94 points in this game, I would have put damn near everything I owned on this over. Thankfully, I don't know these things before the game tips, or else I would be homeless and destitute somewhere in the middle of the road. Kentucky loses 94-59. They shoot 27% from the field, 21% from deep, 77% from the free throw line. They lose the rebound battle by 13. They lose the turnover battle by 2. This Kentucky team is absolute ass at basketball. It is not just one dude. It is their entire team besides Otega Owe, who has no clue what they're doing. Chandler, no clue. Their transfer point guard from Pittsburgh, Jalen Lowe. I get he has a shoulder injury. He played 15 minutes tonight. He had 1 point and went 0 of 5 from the field. They had this one dude, Andrija Jalovic, the big 7-foot center who shot 3 3-pointers for some reason. I don't even know if any of them hit the rim. This team has no offensive identity, and their defense is horrible. They let Gonzaga score 94. I think Gonzaga missed 4 or 5 wide open layups. Graham Ike had 2 bunnies missed. You had a Huff missed 2. Was it Huff? I don't know, the tall white dude down low. He missed a few bunnies. This over should have hit by a mile. Anyway, Kentucky, they will be up in that right-hand corner in jail until the minimum 2026. They are getting locked up. You're getting put in the hole. No commissary, no visits, no nothing. You get a brick wall and a bed with no pillow. You suck. Then our other loser, this one was surprising. High Point minus 26.5. I don't know what was going on in North Carolina. They did not show up. They win the game 89-72. How are you, first off, only scoring 89 against NJIT? That is not good. And then secondly, you allow NJIT to score 72 points? NJIT shot and made more three-pointers than High Point. 14 of 39 for deep. For New Jersey Institute of Technology, High Point went 10 of 30. High Point's not going to be good this year. That is a bad 17-point win. So, all right, that's how I go 3-2. Let's get on to the monstrous slate we got for tomorrow. All right, first game we got Colorado State. Questionably one of the best games of the day. Give me the Rams at home minus 2.5. I will also take the over 149.5. This is Colorado's first true road game of the year. They've had a few neutral site games in their MTE, which I think was somewhere in California, but this is their first true road spot. Colorado State, they hate the University of Colorado. This should be an absolute banger. Colorado 8-0 on the year. They, again, yet to play a true road game. Their wins this season are over Providence, UC Davis, San Francisco, and Washington. They played a bottom 150 pace, shoot it 51% from the field, but they only make 7 threes a game. So that should tell you they're going to try to play bully ball down low. That is their identity, but somehow they're not really good rebounding. And their offense and defense, both not good. Defense is ranked 263rd in the country. That is no bueno. Colorado State 6-2 on the year. Quality wins over Wichita State and South Florida. They average 84 points a game, played a bottom 30 pace, so they're going to want to play real slow. Shoot it 52% from the field. They make 11 threes a game. They have an even worse defense than Colorado, so that is the main reason I'm taking the over. If Colorado does win this game, it's probably high scoring to a point, and this is going to be a tight game, so free throws at the end, questionably. Give me the Rams at home. I'm not taking Colorado in their first true road game. Give me the over, 149.5. Next game, we have a MAC school laying 7.5 points on the road against a team in the American. I will do it every single day. Give me Akron minus 7.5. The last time we took Akron, it was at home, and we lost by the hook. I still like this basketball team. I think they are good. They're 7-2 on the year. Their only losses were at Purdue by 20, where they covered, and then a 3-point loss to Yale in a neutral site championship game in the Bahamas. They're a veteran team. They start all upperclassmen. One of the best coaches, I think, in all of college basketball, in John Gross. They score 96 points a game, shoot it 53% from the field. They make 12 three-pointers a game. Their defense is top 175. And again, they owe us because they won by 20 against Bucknell when we laid 20.5. They owe me a W. Tulane 6-2 on the year. That is fraudulent as all hell, though. They lost to New Orleans by 22 points, and then Utah State by 21. I would take Akron over both New Orleans and Utah State. They're horrible on offense. They score just 76 points a game. They play a bottom 50 pace. They shoot at 46% from the field, while also having the 316th ranked defense in the country. They haven't played anyone. I mentioned their losses. They haven't beaten a good school yet. This team is not good. They have one dude. His name is Rowan Brumbaugh. If you can beat him, you can beat their entire team. Give me Akron minus 7.5. All right, next game, we have a battle of the A10 and the ACC. This is a neutral site game because both of these teams are stupid. I will take Virginia minus 6.5. Imagine having the University of Virginia and the University of Dayton meeting to play a basketball game, and both teams having to drive like 5 hours south. You could just meet in the middle. Meet in like West Virginia somewhere. At least have the neutral site game make sense. You both going 4 hours south makes absolutely zero sense. Dayton, 7-2 on the year. Their losses coming to Cincinnati on the road. That loss has worked. That's not a good loss. That's looking bad. And then BYU at a neutral site. They've looked pretty good other than that Cincy loss. They got wins over Marquette and Georgetown. But now that I'm thinking about it, neither of those wins are very impressive, considering Marquette is bad and so is Georgetown. I'm going to rank Virginia higher than every single team they've played besides BYU. Dayton returns only one starter from last year's team. Their bench is very limited. They have a 7-man rotation. Going up against a Virginia team that loves to get to the free throw line and is not like normal Virginia teams, they are going to score the basketball. Virginia, 7-1 on the year. Their only loss, a neutral site game against Butler. I think Butler's really good, so that's quite impressive. They got wins over Northwestern and then a road game at Texas. They are a 100% transfer team. They also have a few European freshmen who aren't really freshmen because they're like 22 years old and just played European professional basketball. They're very good. They're very efficient. I think they win this game by 10+. So I will take Virginia minus 6.5. All right, next game, Maine basketball plays again, so we will fade them because they are ass. Give me Miami of Ohio minus 16.5 at home. I'm taking a decent amount of MAC schools today, and I feel very good about it. Maine is still winless on the road. They have one of the worst coaches in college basketball. This is their 6th road game in a row, or maybe 5th. I forget. I just know they suck. Oh, here it is. I typed it out. This is their 5th road game in a row. They're horrible. They are second last in the entire country in points per game, 59 points a game. How do you not get to like a minimum 64, 65? That is egregious. They're bottom 20 in overall pace. They only make 5.5 3-pointers a game. They shoot it 60% from the free throw line. They're the 4th worst rebounding team in the country. I mean, all of these numbers I'm reading out are egregiously bad. And they also turn it over 14 times a game. This team is horrible. Miami, Ohio, they're the exact opposite of horrible. They're 7-0 on the year. They scored 96 points a game. They play at a top 50 pace. They shoot at 53% from the field. They love the 3-ball, making over 11 a game. They shoot at 40% from deep. They're top 50 rebounding. They win every single stat you could want. This place is going to be packed. I think they play a conference football championship game later that day too in Toledo. There's a lot of stuff going on at Miami of Ohio. Maine is not going to want to be a part of it. I think Miami of Ohio wins by 28. All right, next game we got, it is Monmouth hitting the road going to Georgia Tech. Monmouth is plus 9.5. They probably win this game on the money line. Georgia Tech, by far and away, the worst team in the ACC. Yes, I know Boston College exists. I think Georgia Tech is probably like 2 or 3 losses worse than them this season. There is no way Georgia Tech should be laying 9.5 to anyone not named Maine, Mississippi Valley State, Delaware State. That's probably about it. Monmouth, 5-4 in the year. Their 3 losses are to LaSalle by 10. That's a decent A10 school. By 13. Seton Hall by 12. They're way better than Georgia Tech. And then Syracuse on the road by 5. Syracuse just beat Tennessee by double digits. All of those are not bad losses. Monmouth, they got wins against Robert Morris, who won the Horizon last year. Princeton, who did not win the Ivy last year. They won the Ivy 2 years ago. They shoot at 45% from the field, 75% from deep. They average 8 steals a game, which is top 50 in the country. And they don't turn it over, fewer than 11 times a game. They play slow. They keep games close. That is what they do. Georgia Tech, they are also 5-4, currently riding a 3-game losing streak. Their losses came to DePaul by 14. DePaul is probably the worst school in the Big East. Drake by 10. Drake is not good this year. and then Mississippi State by 12. Honestly, not that bad. This team is horrible. They shoot 42% from the field, 29% from deep. They have only covered this number twice the entire season. There will also be nobody at this game. Literally no one. Give me Monmouth plus 9.5. Next game, there will be people at this game. This is another one, questionably the matchup of the day. If you care about like regionality and true rivalries, this is a banger. Rhode Island on the road at Providence. Give me Rhode Island plus 7.5. I think Rhode Island has the better roster. Kim English, he's been at Providence for, 4 years now? 4 years too many. He's going to lose this game at home, and at the end of the year, this man is traveling to Cancun permanently. They are going to can Kim English. Rhode Island 7-2 on the year. Their losses came to Towson by 7, then Tulsa by 17. They got wins over Yale, Vermont, and Temple. I think Yale and Temple are both better than Providence. They play the exact opposite style of basketball that Providence wants to. Rhode Island 307th in the country in pace. They turn it over just 11 times per contest, shoot at 47% from the field. Defense is top 100, and they're top 20 in steals per game at 10. Providence 5-4 on the year. They lose to every single good team they play. Virginia Tech by 6, Colorado by 9, Wisconsin by 21, Florida by 12. They've been bad literally ever since Kim English took over the program. They lack leaders on this team. They don't have a single dude who you can give the ball to and say, hey, go get me a bucket. They struggle on defense. They don't rebound the ball well. Moneyline currently sitting at plus 315 for Rhode Island. Go get it. But I will take the points, plus 7.5. Sprinkle the money line. All right, final regular bet of the day. Then I have, normally on the right-hand side of the screen, are my quote-unquote almost bets. With as large of a slate as we have tomorrow, I am actively betting all of these games on the right-hand side of the screen. So take for that what you will. I just do not have the time to actually type all this stuff out. But anyway, my favorite play of the day, West Virginia. Not technically a home game, but realistically a home game against Wake Forest. I'll take them minus 1.5. Neutral site, taking place in Charleston, West Virginia. This is going to be all Mountaineers. Wake Forest 6-3 on the year. Losses by 1 point to both Michigan and Texas Tech. Then they got rocked by Oklahoma at home by 18. They play the exact opposite style of ball that West Virginia does. They're going to be uncomfortable. They shoot at 45% from the field. Most of the stat battles they do win. But again, if you're playing basically a road game against the Mountaineers with their slow style of pace, it is just not going to be fun. WVU 7-2 on the year. Their 2 losses both coming at the neutral site in Charlotte. Lost to Clemson by 3, Xavier by 10. Their one big win was against Pitt at home by 22 points. This is a new team. First-year head coach of West Virginia. Well, not first-year head coach. First-year West coach here. Ross Hodge used to be the coach at North Texas. You know what you're getting. They pride themselves in defense, ranked 4th in the country. Both of these teams need this game like blood. More so West Virginia, because Wake Forest, again, you can't really lose to Oklahoma by 18. West Virginia, your 2 losses aren't horrible. If you can go 8-2, splitting your games against the ACC, and then just dropping that one Big East game to Xavier by 10, that might get you into the conversation for being an at-large bid come the end of the season, depending how you do in Big 12 play. I will take the Mountaineers. You're getting the better coach, the better defense, and realistically home court. I like all 3 of those things. Give me the Mountaineers. All right, then finally, I will also be betting these games, but I just don't have time to type stuff out. It is Utah Tech on the road at Bowling Green. I will take Bowling Green minus 1.5. They are the better team. They just beat Kansas State on the road. This team's pretty good. Next one, another MAC school. Buffalo catching 5.5 points at home to St. Bonaventure. Buffalo's damn good. There's still a few schools in the MAC who have yet to lose. I'm going to back both of them today. We already took Miami of Ohio. Buffalo's getting disrespected, 5.5 point home dogs. Yes, the Bonnies have looked good this year. They're now hitting the road Buffalo should be pretty lit. Their football team did not make a bowl game. Not that that matters, but like football season is now 100% over. They can focus on basketball. Then finally, Marquette plus 10.5. I've talked a lot of shit about Marquette basketball. You never back Marquette when they're a favorite. You only back them as a dog. Them catching double digits at Wisconsin, beyond disrespectful. This is when you go in on Shaka Smart. You take the plus 10.5. Money line is alive. They probably win this game by like 4. All right, that's going to do it for me in this video. I appreciate you guys watching and tuning in, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.